So I just finished my video response from Blackguard666. His video is titled Fake Christians Rudeness. It's a response to a video where I talked about Christians being fake and not being sustaining friendships. And I want to reply to a bunch of things that he said before I forget, because I just finished the video. And he talked about a lot of things. It's about 30 minutes long, his video. Anyway, so for starters, he talked a lot about how I overgeneralized Christians as being fake, and that's what I try to address in the video. I know every person is different, and I know stereotypes are bad. I myself am a gay male that tries to fight stereotypes every day of my life, so I'm not someone that condones making stereotypes, but I can tell you, based on personal experience, that there has been many times. It's not just a couple times, it's not just a few times, many times in my life I have been friends with someone. I've spent a lot of good quality time with that person. They made me believe in so many ways that they were this great friend and that they would stay in my life forever, and then later they just feel like switching to new friends. And I don't think that it was anything personal. I think that that's just kind of how Christians are a lot of times. I think that's, since I grew up in non-denominational churches, I can't really speak for the other religions, but I did spend a small amount of time in Los Angeles Church of Christ. I did spend a lot of time around non-denominational people, and they were like that. And what it just feels like is that they're conditioned to spend Sundays being nice to everyone, and then once the doors are open, they want to run out right after the service. A lot of them don't even want to talk to anyone after, and they're sort of trained to have that time that they're nice to people, and then after that they're not. They don't need to be nice to you past the service. They don't need to be nice to you behind your back. They might talk lots and lots of trash behind your back, and they might be nicey nice with a smile to your face, and it's kind of how a lot of them are, and how they're conditioned, and how they behave. And I actually moved to the Midwest to be with the boyfriend that I have now that's been in my videos, Adam. And the thing is that the Bible Belt here, I've heard, is less than 10%. And of those people, they're not taken very seriously. People really don't like them because they do stir up a lot of crap, and they do talk a lot of trash, and they do kind of create a lot of problems, a lot of them. And you know, we have a Methodist church here, which is really just pro-gay, pro-everything, which is just a super positive environment. And then we have a lot of churches, like a lot of Baptist churches, that are just narrow and rude and stupid. They said anti-gay things right in their own bulletin. We have billboards here that talk about not having abortions. We have people with just wacky beliefs here that just want to pour their beliefs, their things that they feel like they know, down everybody else's throat. And the thing is, not everybody believes in God or religion, and I don't. I believe in my own God, my own higher power, but I don't believe in the God of the Bible. I don't believe in the Bible at all. And it's frustrating when people want to pour their beliefs down my throat all the time, or talk trash and say that something like being gay is unbiblical or anything else. And you also mentioned a few times the YouTube, people dropping on my YouTube. That wasn't what I referenced in the video. I was referencing in the video people that I felt were friends for a good amount of time that suddenly I'll realize is missing from my Facebook. And it does kind of hurt when I feel like that person's a better friend than that. But, I mean, from being a man, I feel like there's certain things that connect and bond males more. And there's people I've met on rugby or football or dodgeball or physical type things, where I might meet the person just one single time and connect with them enough to meet up with them on Facebook, and guess what? They don't drop off later out of nowhere, because I think physical things really connect men to men. And then there's things like church, where I might be around someone for 5 years and feel like we're really, really good friends, and they'll drop off the earth later and think nothing of it. So a lot of times Christians are fake. That's just how it is. It's not a stereotype if it's true. There's enough of them that are. It's been my experience far too many times. Not a little bit, but a lot. And when at the time that I made this video, there was friends that were good friends of me, and they suddenly dropped off the earth. And these are people that I had known a couple of years, and who knows what the heck their problem was. I mean, people that I really had higher expectations of than that. And at the time I left that video, this was someone that meant a lot to me, and no longer does, because he just wanted to stop being a good friend and just drop away or whatever his thing was. But the thing was, it had happened enough other times, in enough other situations, enough other ways. It wasn't an uncommon experience. And I've met people that I've met off the street, next to a bus stop, in a bar, that have been much, much higher quality people than people that I've met in church. And it's for precisely those reasons, because they want to be all fakey fake, nicey nice, smiley smiley to your face, and then talk a lot of trash behind your back, and then just be a flaky, bad, dumb friend. Okay? I'm not saying all Christians do it, but enough of them have in my past for me to kind of know what to expect, because it happens too many times. And the people that are the good Christians lead by example. They don't need to say, oh, well, I wouldn't do something like that and be obnoxious about it. No, there are people that are just genuinely good, decent people that don't need to rub a bunch of dumb stuff in your face and are just good, loyal friends. And there are people like that that are in church too. I could think of maybe one person that's good like that versus the dozens and dozens that's turned out to be a crap friend. I mean, that's just how it is. It's not a stereotype. That's my experience. And yeah, I did hear about the church people and the people at the restaurants that were bad, and the people that were going through the Walmart that were mowing down people with their carts. I mean, that was true factual information that I heard from someone else that I did not see firsthand. Correct. But everything else that I spoke of, I definitely have experienced firsthand. And I think that people are confused about the Bible. The Bible is an entirely translated book. None of it was originally written in English, and nobody really knows what it means. They just want to think that they know what they mean. They want to pick and choose. They want to say, oh, this verse is what this means. Oh, this verse that's right alongside it is not what it means. You know, there's sometimes contradictions on the same page, and people will say, oh, it means this thing and not this other thing. And it's just too frustrating a book for me to follow. I've spent too much time on it, but I had to drop away from it entirely. I don't even want to consider myself a Christian anymore, because there's just been too many frustrating things with it. And people want to say you can't be gay and be Christian and all this other stuff, and it's just too much. I can't deal with it. I don't want to ever go to church again. I grew up in churches, and I feel like it did a lot more harm than good for me in my experience, and the people just made it worse. It's just how it is. If something just makes your life worse, you don't need to have them in it. And, you know, but everybody's different. I would like for Christians to prove me wrong, but it seems like I keep on picking bad friends that seem like they're good at the time. I would rather have more good friends now. It's hard when you're older, and, you know, all my friends are married. It seems like their wives just want to hog their time or something, you know. When I was younger, especially college age, it's like at any one time I'd have like 5 really good close friends. It was super social time in college. It was the best time to have friends. And then now I'm 25, and it's like friends won't even barely spend time with me because they just have their wives to spend time with. It kind of sucks. And I got to be more careful about who I want to be associating with, who I want to spend time with. I think that people of the world understand the world, and people of the Bible want to understand the Bible. And I prefer people of the world. I prefer people that are eccentric, that want to have their own mind and want to believe their own things, that don't need to follow a Bible or follow a book. I mean, people need something to believe. People want to believe in something like the Bible, religion, that's fine. I mean, the Bible is a puzzle. I mean, it wants to say that there's death and then the judgment. Well, a lot of people believe in reincarnation, and there's nothing about reincarnation in the Bible. I believe in reincarnation, and I believe it. I know it to be true for me and for other people that I've known, and the Bible wants to act like that doesn't exist, and that just doesn't fly with me. It's like it's too constricting a book. It wants to tell you what to believe. I think that it just frustrates people because they want to understand it and they don't know how to. They don't know how to act. They so desperately want to cling to something and hold to something in it, and that's how I was growing up with it. I so badly wanted to believe that I was a Christian and I wanted to go to heaven, but everybody wanted to tell me that you couldn't be gay and a Christian, and enough was enough. I had to separate myself from it. I definitely believe in God and a higher power, but I just can't set any faith in the Bible, and I can't set any faith in Christians because they've just let me down too many times. And that's just how it is. But I'm willing to accept that some people might be better than that, but in my experience, it seems that a lot of times they're not. A lot of times they just feel obligated to be nice to you. And for someone like me that has Asperger's, that has mild autism, that's extremely gullible growing up, not as much now, it was hard when people would act like they were my friend and not end up holding their end of the bargain somehow. That hurts. I don't need to be around people like that. I need people that say they're going to be my friend and mean it. I don't need that. Nobody needs that. Oh, that clarified a few things. I think that's all I have to say about it. But thank you for your video response. It was nice talking to you about it.